Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 38.
What's going on, Ken? We are back with another episode of the Reseller Clickbait Podcast. I'm Jimmy, Old School Flips. This is Ken, SSKPromo. And right off the bat, we're going to talk about our good friend out east, close to you, our giant reselling friend out there, Paul Philly Flipper. We're going to start off the show just talking about him because he's got a big move coming up.
Yeah, he should actually be there today. When this comes out. Yeah, he was traveling yesterday. Hopefully all his travels went well. I'm just super excited for his move. He's moving from the Philadelphia area down to Florida.
And when I say friend, I meant your friend. I don't watch any.
Yeah, you don't really care for him. I don't watch any of his stuff either. I was
going to call him Joe for a second.
Joe Philly Picker. Yeah. But shout out to Paul, my friend. I hope that the move went well, and he had a lot of help coming today. A lot of other resellers were going to pitch in that are down in that area and show up. So hopefully,
all kinds of like old dishware and old garments, and it's going to be fun for him out there.
From the snowbird population down there in Florida, which is interesting. You know, it'll be interesting to see that transition. Yeah, you can pick up and move someplace and move all your current inventory, but you know, you're used to all your sourcing places that you go.
I'd be scared.
Yeah, the types of stuff that you find. So it will be interesting to watch his journey and just see if his sourcing improves.
I heard he's moving just to be closer to Dave, is what I heard. That's what I've heard. He's actually bought the house next door to Dave. Dave doesn't even know this yet. He's just, it's kind of a weird thing that he has for Dave going on right now.
Is he gonna start cooking with Dave? Maybe show up over there, be the taste tester.
He's gonna get like one of those baby harnesses, and he's gonna carry Dave everywhere he goes. He's gonna become a reselling team. And it's gonna be kind of like Mad Max, where
Dave in the little baby harness.
So, I think that's what's going on there.
Yeah, Dave had some comments on the Trash Cash this last week about.
He did. That's why it's a whole brand new show here. We got a third host already.
Yeah, we do.
Host.
He's going to step up the game here a little bit.
You just can't see him or hear him, but he's here.
Yeah. It's Fleet Frank here. Yeah. Is the new host of the show.
Yeah. Dave recommended we get a third person because me and Ken are not funny or interesting at all. So we brought in Fleet Frank. Excuse me.
Fleet Frank's full of
he's full of it.
He's full of it. That's So
yeah, we have a whole new show with a new host that's not really here.
Yes.
We are going to be changing things. We're completely changing it, so it's not even a reseller show anymore. It's all about orange Crocs, apparently.
We're going to that's our sponsor of the week, Jimmy. Product sponsor of the week. Prison Crocs. Right here, orange prison Crocs, because you were telling me a story the other day that you have a stalker now.
Wait, I gotta ask you, are each of those pairs for every stint that you did?
Yes. Yeah, those are actually prison ones by me. Then they actually go up through the sizes. So, you know, I've been in and out of the joint my whole life. And
I was just curious.
Those actually came from if early on in the podcast we were talking. Those came from a bulk buy that I bought on an auction at a local prison that had closed down. But
are they listed on eBay?
Well, of course not, Jimmy. I've only had them like 6 or 8 months. They're not going to be listed yet. But they're going to be listed soon. So if you need a pair of prison Crocs to wear with your socks, because Jimmy's now he's a full-time socks and Crocs guy.
I'm wearing them right now.
That's all he wears
I don't have any socks on. That's why my feet are cold. I just have Crocs. Just straight Crocking it.
He's straight.
You know.
Oh,
there's so many topics I want to talk about, but first let's talk about, because we're talking about
yes,
Paul moving to Florida, right?
Yes.
And something I want to talk about because I put it in my latest video. If we can go there.
Okay. Yes.
My latest video, I started off saying, this guy was very upset because he didn't get a car. He was going to buy a car for like $18,000, right?
Like a Hot Wheel car?
No, an actual
vehicle. Okay.
Dodge Charger or something like that.
Okay.
And
was it orange and had like a big General Lee flag on it?
I think it might have been orange though. I think it was orange. I don't know that it was a Charger. I don't think it was a Charger, but that's the first old car that always pops into my head.
Gotcha.
Is the old General Lee car. No, so he kind of threw a little. So I know the owner of the estate sale company. I talked to him because I went back the next day and I kind of talked to him about it. And it was like one of the things that we have as resellers, we have to be used to the fact that we always don't get everything we want. And this guy was like a big child complaining because he didn't someone beat him to it. Someone bought it and gave them full asking price. The first person, he took the first person's offer. Well, the person offered him full asking and got it.
Yeah.
And so
sounds fair to me.
It's a big thing as a reseller that you have to get used to is you're either going to be you're not going to be the first one there, as Matt's song would say, you got to be the first one there.
Yes.
Or you're not always the first one there.
You can't get here, watch this, Jimmy, the whole new show format.
Oh yeah. He was quick.
You can't always get what you want. Now, we didn't want, what we didn't want is to get, a copyright strike by, so just imagine the Rolling Stones in your head.
That's why Ken can't sing that verse because instantly he'll start dancing.
Ken can't sing anyway. So, but yeah, you can't always get what you want. We were discussing your video and being at the estate sale. And the thing that stood out to me was all the people that were in line. See, in my area, we don't have estate sales. We have like live auctions.
Just don't die there or what?
Well, no, they die all the time, but the family has the auction company come in.
Gotcha.
And they do live auctions where you have the estate sales. And so in the beginning of your video, you're showing, your buddy, 5280 Fines Len had secured you a spot in line.
That's the only reason he's my friend. Again, he's not really my friend.
He just gets up early.
Give me a spot in line at 5 o'clock in the morning. Make it happen, bud.
But this sale, I don't know how many people were in that line. 50, 100?
Oh, yeah. Brian's sales always have close to 100 people in line because he knows what he's doing. By the time the door, because that was half an hour before the door even opened. So the magic of editing, Ken. It was the magic of editing in that video. I walked up to the line, and then before I started, I turned my camera off. It's a crazy idea. All the kids are doing it, though. I turned my camera off, and then I turned it back on as we were starting to go in to the building. But I actually stood in line for half an hour. And so you see how many people were there, and half an hour prior to it opening, another 30 people showed up before the doors opened easily. So,
I was just amazed because, like I said, I've been to a few estate sales around here, but they're nothing like that. And I had made the comment to you about just the pandemonium when they open that front door and everybody just charges in and they're just grabbing hand over fist over top of everybody. And then where kind of this conversation was leading was how much when you went the second time around, how much was already gone off of all of those tables, everything that you had missed, Jimmy, because we know how you just,
I missed a lot of stuff for sure. So and it's something that, I know I missed a lot of stuff. I don't care because I did really good at that sale. I've listed some of the stuff today and it's going to do really well. But here's the thing, like if you watch the video, it's go, go, go. Like I went for the 4 things I saw in pictures that I wanted. And out of the 4 things I saw, I got the model kit that I wanted. I got all those Matchbox play mats that are worth like $70 a piece. I got them for $5 a piece.
Sweet.
I got 7 of them. So I grabbed all 7 of those. And then I knew there were some hats in the basement. There was an old vintage Broncos hat and an old vintage Nebraska corn hut. I knew where they were in the basement. Again, I didn't know where in the basement got to the basement, did my scan, saw that they were in the back corner, got the hats, and then the fourth thing I wanted was a set of like vintage, in a Christmas Vacation, the Taz mug.
Oh,
like the Nestle Quick Taz mugs or whatever.
Oh, that's Marty Moose. That they're drinking eggnog out of?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Taz. Like I used to have them as a kid. Anyways, they're like old plastic mugs that have like a cartoon's character face in them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Well, these ones were Kool-Aid branded. And they had a bunch of Kool-Aid, because Kool-Aid used to have characters back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And so these were Kool-Aid ones, and I wanted them. But anyways, that was way long to tell that. By the time I got to that cabinet, those were gone.
Okay.
So those were the four things I wanted. Then I knew I would get if they were priced well. Even though the model kit I paid way up on, he always gives me a deal at checkout, so I still bought it.
Yeah.
Then I went back around and started doing let's see if I can find anything that else is good. But yeah, by the time I got back upstairs, a lot of the stuff I wanted was gone.
Yeah, that's I don't think my temperament, I don't know that I would want to handle that big rush of all those people in that estate sale
rushing. I want to see you
I'm gonna
hurry.
Because Jimmy
skills big time.
Jimmy likened it. When he was here for the sales in Ohio, he's like, they're like, it's slower
almost
around
as
here.
Florida sales, yeah. And I was like, and sometimes yard sales are that way here, but very, very rarely, and especially not estate sales. If you go, shameless plug, go check out Old School Flips. Check out my latest video.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy,
check out that
why don't you link
rush.
that?
I'll forget, but I'll link it down below. My channel's linked below.
Oh, okay.
I don't forget that.
Like I was the pressure around here, because we have more of the live auction. So there's that many people there. Could be a few hundred people all standing around these big rows of tables, just waiting for. The guy to get, and just about the time he gets down to, down the table road to where your item is that you've been waiting for. Then he's like, okay, we're going to go over here and auction off the lawn equipment. And it's like, and so you wait. And then, the live auction is a different animal in itself, as far as, number one, you have to you have that opportunity to look at stuff, comp the items, kind of get in your mind what you want to pay for that, and then fight that urge. I was
just going to say another great
overpay.
Great example of not getting what you want all the time.
Exactly. And if you don't have that price in your head, okay, I don't want to go any more than this, and that bid creeps up, and then now I've spent $15 more on an item, chewed into my sale price,
spending money
if
you don't
I even get it.
You're like,
yeah, exactly.
I didn't even have $15, and I bid 25.
But it's I guess when you're at someone lists just regular yard sales. Someone lists, they have video games. Of course, all you got to do, if you want to have a successful yard sale, whether you have any or not, just list that you have video games, and your sale will, if your sale starts at 9 a.m, they're knocking on your door at 6:30.
I don't know if it'd be successful though. You'd have a bunch of, from age 19 to 45-year-old guys walking, hey, where's the video games, man?
Yeah.
And then they'll just leave right after you say they're gone. They'll walk right past the $1,000 stack of LPs. Man. They won't even buy the records, even though they're worth more than the video games. They're just gonna walk right past them.
Right past with that. Yeah. It's
video games. That's a good picker right there. Those guys are good. They're good.
The guys that run in. You got any video games? Oh man, I got story after story of those guys that run out while I'm just loping around. I'm loping. I'm a loper, Jimmy.
Loper.
You know that. I just lope around at the yard sale.
I'm not very educated. Is that a word?
That is a word.
I have to look that up. We should almost have a word for the day for Jimmy, because I don't know words. In a nutshell, I don't know words.
In a nutshell, let me see.
What's the definition of dictionary? Loping? It sounds like something you would. Is like after you just.
Characterized by long bounding strides.
Yep, that's how you source for sure.
Yes, I'm just there because I'm usually goofing with the people at the sale, right. And I'm looking around. But man, do I get good deals because they just think I'm a riot. They think I'm a riot when I'm there. I'm making them offers.
I think you would do well in Florida. I think you would be, you and Paul.
It's about my speed. It's about my
people's yard sales.
My demographic, you know, my age, you know, old ladies love me for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Paul's going to do well down there for that reason too.
Because old ladies just love Paul.
I think so. I'm pretty sure they do actually.
So, okay, we started that whole conversation about our sponsor of the week, Prison Crocs. Because you have a stalker, Jimmy.
I do. I'm not going to call them that, but you're comfortable calling them that.
No, you told me, you're like, last week, you're like, I have a stalker, and apparently it's somebody that watches this show.
Yes. Okay, we'll go with the joke. I have a stalker that is watching this show every week.
Okay.
And now knows that I have a French bulldog puppy.
Okay.
They've already sent me pug croc. What are those called anyways? They're like croc accent.
Like little jewelry piece charms. Yeah.
Like charms something like that. You plug into your prison crocs.
Yes. What kind of charms could I get from my prison? Like little shanks or little like
bars of soap.
A little cake with a file in it coming out each end. Do they do that anymore? Are people filing down prison bars?
You're the one that's been in and out of the system your whole life. I don't know. You're the one that you were up there with Shawshank mopping the roof. The hot mop. Come on, man. I don't know. I don't know but yeah, so they sent me more charms, and this person, they won't. I don't know who it is. They just send them. They drop ship them from Amazon with no name, no nothing. This one had a message that said, "I'm in the house."
I'm in the house.
Yeah.
In the big house. Yeah, I'm in the big house.
I'm in the big house. Yeah. But there's no name, no nothing. So I got more charms. Oh, they're upstairs. Dang it! I was supposed to bring them down here.
See, that's what happens when you forget your prop, Jimmy.
So now I have
just
some
like last week,
and I have some for my French bulldog now.
Okay,
but again, I want to thank my stalker for sending those to me. Just don't murder me in my sleep. That'd be great.
Or you too can
you too have your
just get on eBay. I'm going to list these this week. If anybody needs some prison crocs, you can go to my store.
You can have your own pair of orange prison crocs.
You know, that comments of the week had to do a lot with my prop from last week's show, my magic wand. It was supposed to be my magic wand. And wouldn't one think that I would have brought it this week, that I would have had it here?
You don't have it.
I don't have it.
What have you been doing with your magic wand?
Well, Jimmy, that's
magic? You're supposed to say magic.
I've been magic, yes. You know the old rabbit out of the hat gag. I've been doing that.
I gotcha.
But you know, a lot of comments of the week had to do with my magic wand prop.
Whoa. Yeah. This is just sounding like we're definitely
Chris Cajun reseller. He says he's not sure he wants to see Ken's magic wand prop. But I think the classic line, this is line of the year so far on the Reseller Clickbait podcast. Line of the year to this date is
we had 2 episodes in the year or 3.
Yes.
2.
We've had
it's off to a roaring start.
Right now you're the front runner, Jimmy, with the butcher, the baker, and the magic wand maker. Was Graham's and Pops Vintage commented on that. That was a classic line. So if you want to see what that was all about, go back and hey, how about a thumbs up? And if you're not subscribed, we should mention that a little bit more. You know what? Something else that we don't mention that much is that this is also a true podcast. I mean, we are on Spotify, iTunes,
right.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any place that you listen to a podcast. If you can't watch the video, although we do a lot of visual stuff on here, if you can't watch on YouTube, check us out on one of those platforms, and that does actually perform really well for us.
It's a lot easier to listen to us too than look at us too. That's for sure. So it's and actually our what would you call that? Our listens are because we have our views.
How many listens? Yes. How many listens do we have?
Is that what it would be called? No, you're messing with me right now.
That's what I would say. Wait, they kind of download it to listen. How many lists?
How many
I
downloads?
like that.
How many listeners? No, I want because the word is views when you talk about the YouTube side.
I'd say it'd be
views
listens.
Are doing pretty good. But the listens are doing pretty good too, right?
The listenings is yes. I think that's what we're gonna go with.
I think I just confused Ken.
He's
done for the show.
Watching or listening or whatever. We appreciate everybody that does participate in the show and hits that thumbs up, and those that are subscribed and leaves comments. Yeah, it's always fun to read all the comments, and maybe we should just do a show where we read all the comments from the week before.
So
that would be just gripping. That'd be a great listen, Jimmy.
It'd be a great listenings.
If y'all listenings,
and with the comments, leave us topics that you guys want us to talk about. Because Dave over at the Trash to Cash and Carrie, not so much Kevin, but those two guys basically told us that we're terrible at this. Carrie doesn't even know what this show is about. And Dave said he loves us, but then he backtracked. So we don't even know anymore. But here's the thing. What we're changing up is we're going to try to avoid our really long stories where, we play the story time intro, this one right here.
It's story time.
And then I take a nap while Ken
I go on
about his
and
childhood friends and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to avoid that stuff. And
listen, my childhood friend though came through with my big sale of the week. Did you have any big sale? I had a great sale.
Well, your big sale's a lot better than my big sale.
That's what she said.
No, so I didn't do big sale per se. I did a cool, interesting bolo, and you did too.
Okay,
yours is. Let's share that. Yeah. You go ahead. Let me share mine first.
Okay,
because mine's not worth nearly as much as yours that's sold.
Because I got a big long story about my childhood friend.
Oh well, no. Let's divert. This is where we have to get better.
Stop.
Ken, no long story. Check this out, guys. This is a plush, and I don't like plush. I hate selling plush, but I've gotten better. Thanks, Cajun. I am better at finding. It's all about the sourcing. If you're bad at sourcing plush, you're gonna have a bunch of plush like Ken sitting on your shelf that don't sell unless you do 50% off. So this is a plush though that I picked up at a thrift store that I was like, well, this is weird. It's a vintage Excalibur Hotel Casino plush, dragon plush, and it's sold for $33, $32.29 plus shipping. So, and I paid like $2 for it at the thrift, and that's to me for a plush, especially Go ahead, sorry, say it.
No, I'm not.
Like I just took a chance on it, but to me, it's kind of proving that I'm getting a better eye for plush that people will actually want, not just Kohl's Care Winnie the Pooh. You know what I mean? You probably have one, don't you?
Or I do, or a bunch of Build-A-Bears. But so I won't go into a long story here. But when we originally talked, hey, let's maybe show a sale, a good sale of the week, BOLO, something that was of interest. My first thoughts was the plush that I have been selling. If you watch, here's my shameless plug. If you watch my Ken versus 10 listing show that I have on Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern time, I've been doing kind of like a study or whatever, and we talked about it on here, of listing things in a category, listing multiple things in a category to see if it boosts your sales in that category.
I think you kind of broke it though, because I don't think it's a legit test, because you also put those things on 50% off. So I can't say that counts per se.
This is true, but my test will continue, because my first thing was not going to be like a great item that I sold. It was going to be the fact that since last week I've sold about 15 plush, and of the 15 plush were probably 2 of them that I listed on the show last week.
That came from your bed.
They all came from my bed.
They all came from your bed.
Because I sleep with all of them. I sleep with the unlisted ones, is what it is, because once they're listed,
now we know where your magic wand is. We just found out, folks, why the magic wand is not.
But they're so soft and fluffy. But my plush sales have picked up. Yes, it's a 50% sale, which also lets me know that that's probably about the price point that those things should be at. But listing in that category, and I've been kind of listing over the last week, but I'm selling more plush that were not listed than I am ones that, wait, no, they had to be listed to sell. Wow. Okay, wait, let me start over. I've sold more.
You just rewound, folks. That was my rewind impression.
How did it go?
There we go. We just rewound. You didn't. You have to do it too. So we're both rewinding at the same
time. Okay, so the plush that I've been listing this week I've been selling more plush that were previously listed than I have ones that I have newly listed.
And those have been on 50% off for a while?
And just for, say, the last 2 weeks, they've been on 50% off. So I think that I am getting more hits in my plush category because I'm listing more.
Now, I have the real question. The real question about listing plush. Yeah. Do you feel like going over to your ice tray, taking the ice pick out of the ice pick tray and stabbing your eyeballs out while you're listing plush?
I do not. I enjoy listing plush.
Oh my gosh.
Number one,
I'll be on a roll listing, and I'll list, and then I get to a couple plush, and I'm like,
what do you hate about it?
I just hate listing plush. It's so boring.
I mean, the pictures are easy for them.
I'm not in
the
there's
shipping
nothing
is
exciting
easy.
About them. I don't know. Like when I'm listing toys and stuff, I'm like, oh, this is cool. All this, and the only time plushes are exciting when it's a surprise, valuable plush.
Yeah.
But when you're listing $8 plush,
it shouldn't be a surprise because you should have already comped that before.
But what's going on with your listings? I mean, you're not listing anything that's worth a lot. That's kind of where I'm going.
No, I'm not listing in my plush because those are the ones that I have here. Now, I do have some better plush. I'm a pretty decent plush sorcerer.
Yeah, that's why you have a magic wand.
That's why I have a magic wand so that I can conjure up good plush deals. No, I'm a pretty good. I've learned a lot from people like Chris, Cajun Reseller, watching all his videos of what he sold and the brands and such to get. But I have a pretty good eye now. I didn't in the beginning, and it's why I have all of these low dollar plush. It's like, oh, it says Build-A-Bear. It says Build-A-Bear. It says, that Kohl's Cares and some of those. I don't pick. I'm very selective now in what plush that I will pick up, and they're all going to have value. These I am just trying to clear out space. I need to list them eventually, and all of this is going to go into yard sale pretty much eventually, and I'll just make my money back, that 50 cents a dollar. Where I'm at, my 50% plush sale ends Tuesday, the 31st, January the 31st. Okay, everything goes back up to regular price.
Right.
Or, well, my normal 20% off sale.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm waiting for this. Is like that character on Saturday Night Live that never makes a point. Have you ever seen that character?
Yes.
This is like that right now. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for the point. I'm hoping that this character has a point. I'm just joking. I know I've interrupted you a lot.
The point
but that's
is,
part of the new show. That's
where I'm going with it is, when my sale goes off next week, when I get to February, I'm going to be running my regular normal sale, but still continue to list plush, and that will give me an idea. Is it because it was 50% off that I sold more, or was it because, and then it'll still be comparing, am I only selling newly listed plush, or is my store gaining plush traction? Is that a word?
I don't know. But all this to say that he sold a car for this much, guys.
Hey, I get to click on the button. Hey, wait, Jimmy, look at this sale that I had.
This one? I don't want. Now he's mad. Look, I clicked on the button and now he's mad, folks.
I'm upset. All right,
tell us about your sale.
Okay, this sale right here. This was a great sale. Little Hot Wheels car. I think I might have talked about it somewhat before. Now, you look at the price there, that's $412.49. It actually, I took a best offer on that.
Wait, for the listeners, tell them what it is real quick.
Oh, it's a 1972. It's a Hot Wheels. It's a motorcycle, a Bold Eagle, orange and green, has a green rider. A very rare. There was no other orange ones listed at the time. And I had it listed there. It was on the normal sale at $412.49, and it sold for $380. I took a best offer, and it went for $380, and I got a really great feedback on it. Once the person got it, they were, because the thing was like pretty much, it was
you can see
as near mint as it could have been.
Now, 2 questions. Where did you get it? Wait, I know where you got it. But you could tell,
but the listeners might not know.
I tell everybody where you got it, and then I forgot what and tell everybody how they can find out that it's sold for $380.
Yes, I got that in a private pick that we talked about. Well, a buddy of mine that I grew up with.
We've all heard the story.
Kindergarten.
The childhood friend, yes.
Childhood friend. That's where
We've all heard the really, really long story.
Shout out to John. Hey, Tammy,
John.
if
We're
you're
just
watching.
Messing around, John. This is part of the new format where we don't talk for 30 minutes.
So so I got that for free in a private pick, and it was in a case, Matchbox car cases, just with a bunch of cars, and I was just looking through them. I thought, that's interesting. Let me comp that, and I'm like, holy shnikes!
So are you taking John to a Taco Bell dinner or something for that?
I am. We got a new Del Taco that's opening up, like next week or something.
Blast,
they do not. Those are yummy.
If I was John, if I was you, I would demand the Baja Blast.
Yeah,
in the icy form too.
Wait till I sell those cat figurines.
Right.
I'll take him out for, like, maybe the me jalapeno, real Mexican food.
For a prime rib, and make sure that you get the nice big cut, and then he gets like a dried out
dried out shoe leather piece, and we just laugh and laugh at him.
That's what happens when you go eat prime rib with Ken. He's like,
but it's
the best place in town. It's like, yeah, because they obviously you're like the mayor or something. They gave you
I got the best cut, and Jimmy got like I'm not even sure his came from a cow at that point.
Right.
Well, we got that figured out.
We did.
And so yeah, that was my sale of the week, Jimmy. The Hot Wheels, $380. That was exciting. And I'm just as excited. I'm just as excited about the plush sales as I am a sale like that, because those plush sales where I'm making maybe $10, those 8 to 12 to $15 sales on a low cost item. Well, of course you can't get any lower than free, but you know, those I have anywhere from 5.5 cents to a buck in any of those plush. And those are the bread and butter stuff and I am doing my thing where every plush sale, January, February, March, is going into my travel fund so that I can go to meetups and stuff. And Vegas, right now, maybe. That's right. April, we're looking at that date in April to head out to Vegas. And so far, what I'm shooting for, what I would like to have is about $100, at least $100 a month in plush sales. Okay. Yeah. I think with my sales over this weekend, because last week or a few days ago, I was like $89. So I think I'm over 100, and I got a few days left here in January.
Right. Okay.
And so
I'm not sure how that math worked out, but I suck at math. You said you're at $89, and then you said you're over 100. So I don't know.
Well,
what you haven't shipped yet?
Yeah, with the other day, like when I did my show the other day on Thursday, Ken versus 10, 11 a.m. Eastern on the SSKPromo channel. I was at $89, and so I know that I've sold well more than what is that? We don't do math. What is that? $11 or something? $11. So I'm shooting to get $100 a month in plush sales during January, February, March to put towards travel, and just, then I'll designate a new category for travel or for
Orange Crocs will be the next category, folks.
Orange Crocs. Yes. I'll probably have sold out of those because I'm listing those this week. Wait. Okay. Hold on, Jimmy.
What?
Hold on. Okay. $412.49 was what that was listed at.
You didn't want to miss out on this chance to give Ray a shout out. That's what's going on.
I did not.
Go ahead. Let's give Ray a shout out.
And I am. Hey, Ray.
Where's Ray from?
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought you just meant in general, like we wanted to say hi to Ray. Okay. Ray, Nashville Flippers. Nashville Flippers. The other day he did like an Instagram or whatever about you ever comp something, Jimmy, and you're looking at it and
I've never
went. I know that you don't, because you're the world's worst reseller. You just go buy plush willy-nilly and hope it's worth $32.29 or whatever it was. Yeah, $32.29. But Ray said, if you ever comp something and you only seeing like the best off, that it's sold by best offer, and it has that little green strike through line, and you can't tell what stuff sold for.
Yeah.
He in his video, he turned on to a site called 130point.com, like 130 and the word point, 130point.com. And it's a place where you can go click on the eBay sold search or whatever, type in there, and it will show you all the items that were sold and at their best offer price as well. So
that's good for YouTubers. Also, they can go in there and look at their sold, and they can show what it's sold for.
So like, for example, there's my listing right there. And for those of you that are listening, is I'm holding up my phone showing, but it tells you right there, best offer accepted, $380 US.
Weird. It has your address, your social security number on there too. Yes. That's crazy.
My credit card. That's just actually, and just a free search. It doesn't really have that, folks, if you're listening. But so shout out to Ray for bringing that up, because so far I have been going through. I just did it on an item that I'm going to show a little bit later when we're talking about some videos that we watched.
We're going to run out of time for that. We're not talking about that today.
What?
We don't have time to
run out of time. Those. We got all night.
We do. Well, then we better talk about that right now.
Jimmy and I were talking. We could talk about me being the best Nerf quarterback that's ever played the game.
I'm interested when I come out there, or you come. We have to have a football available.
Yes.
because we are both the self-proclaimed best backyard quarterbacks in the world.
Yes. Like of all time.
Of all time.
Now, Jimmy he throws a regular football. I am the greatest Nerf, backyard Nerf quarterback that's ever played the game. See, and Jimmy's like, well, yeah, but we used a real football. We're real men.
Yeah. I got a real football sitting right here too.
I'm a pretty big guy, but I got kind of little tiny girly hands. Let's see. Yeah. See, I've got like small. Now, not that I'm saying that all females, have small hands. I mean, I've seen some women with some
own grave right now, but I'll just
some real meat hooks out there, and I don't hang out with those women, but in my neighborhood, I am legendary in my neighborhood. Yeah, they're scary. Any woman that's taller than me, Jimmy, I'm scared of them. I don't hang around them. So maybe that's just a personal quirk. And there went all of our subs. Anyway,
this is like I say, I am going to let him tell a story.
I've got small hands. So the Nerf, you can get that grip. Oh, when they came out with that kind of what they called the turbo Nerf, it was like a little bit smaller than a regular Nerf, and it had them spirals on it.
Yep.
I could throw that thing a friggin' mile. And not only could I throw it far, but dead pinpoint accuracy. Man, it was like I was like the Hawkeye. I was like the Hawkeye of backyard Nerf football.
Hawkeye pre-accident or post-accident?
Yeah.
You don't want to be that Hawkeye. Too soon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jeremy Renner. I apologize.
But yeah, like I say, I'm legendary in my neighborhood. People are still talking around here, which. Well, by people, I mean me, because I moved next door to my folks' house and everybody else moved out of the neighborhood. So I might be the only person.
My baby can throw a football. My baby.
I know.
Kool-Aid.
I'm surprised with those little baby hands of his that he can even grip a football. But my father is so disappointed. I could have been a contender.
He's still playing football with all the 13 and 14.
Yeah, all the kids in my neighborhood still. Now, now I'm like all-time quarterback because I don't run, these days. It's like it's they play tackle. It's like 2-hand tap on the old guy, Not going to get out there and, play flag football. That's
last time I tried to run, I pulled my hamstring. Literally the last time I tried to run. Pulled a hammy.
What decade was that?
That wasn't that long ago. That was about 8 years ago.
About 8 years ago. Now, who were you running from, Jimmy?
I was playing football.
Oh,
we had
maybe there was a woman with big old meat hooks was chasing you around, and you were.
All joking aside, I used to be a pretty good athlete. In my 20s, in my late teens and early 20s, I was a really good athlete. Actually, pretty good at basketball and football. I played I didn't play school ball because I had bad grades. So I never played, but I played a lot of street, and then I played a lot of flag football and rec basketball.
Okay.
So anyways, but this was a turkey bowl.
Then you wrecked yourself playing.
This was a turkey bowl that we had here in Colorado, where a bunch of us friends just got together to play a game of football. And I was no longer able to run as fast as I thought I could or juke like I used to. And so I went to juke somebody. And my hammy said,
nope.
I literally, like you would see in a movie or in a game, I literally just grabbed it and I was limping and I was done. It hurt for a long time. Like I probably didn't walk for 4 days.
Yeah, a turkey bowl game. We used to have around here. We always had the first. It was like whenever you got the first snow that like stuck to the ground.
Yeah.
Like everybody, we always had the biggest yard. We had the biggest yard of everybody. So everybody came to our house and played.
I see.
And so I always had home field advantage.
Yeah. Your house, your rules.
And exactly. Yeah. And so we played baseball. We played everything out there, football. But anytime it was going to snow. So we'd always have that snow bowl game where everybody would show up, and it was just a blast. You didn't even have to call anybody. Just people started showing up. Hell, sometimes you'd walk out of the house and there'd be a game going on in the backyard. It's like, wait a minute, this is my backyard. I should tell you, I'll tell you one backyard football. So you want to hear a backyard football story, Jimmy?
Is it gonna be a long story?
Probably.
We're not allowed to do that anymore on this show.
No, piss on Dave. I'll talk about whatever I want to.
All right, let's hear the long backyard football story.
This is my backyard football story. Okay, so the night before, I actually stayed over at John's house, my buddy that I went to the private pick.
The one that you owe a Baja Blast to. Yeah,
that's right. And so I stayed overnight. We just, a sleepover, whatever that we had that night. And the next day we went to my house because everybody was showing up to play football in the backyard.
No sense that you stayed at his house and then went right over to your house. But keep going.
Yeah, because he had all those cool games and all the cool Hot Wheel cars. That's why we always went to his house and stayed.
Right.
But anyway, he had a dog, right? Okay, that'll get into the story a little bit later. But he had a dog, Ginger. And we stayed overnight. So the next day, it's like we're running late. We got to get, on our bikes, get over to my house. I go throw my shoes on. Boom, we go over to the house. Everybody's, half of the people were there. We play football all afternoon. Yep. I go at the end of the day. Did I already tell this story?
No.
Oh, I go at the end of the day and I take my shoe off. I'm like, the hell is that? Well, his dog had pooped, had taken a dump in my shoe the night before. And so I don't know how I didn't notice, but I just threw my shoes on and went over. And I played football all day.
Ken from now on.
I had to throw away the shoes and the socks. I wasn't going to try to clean up the inside. It's bad enough to clean up dog crap off the bottom of your shoe, let alone the whole inside.
Nobody tackled you all game. They're like,
yeah, they're like, this guy really stinks. I thought they were talking about, my skills when I wasn't being quarterback. I wasn't much of a receiver.
That's funny. Poop Shoe Ken. I want to see that as one of your monikers next week on the screen right there. Poop Shoe Ken.
So
write it down so you don't forget.
Poop Shoe Ken. Okay.
Hey, I want to talk real quick.
Yeah.
Because of peer pressure, because Dave called us out, we don't really have a third host. We're not doing that. Nobody really likes us. We can't find a Kevin for this podcast. But we're going to have guests. We're going to do some guests. We're going to try.
We've been talking about that for a while, though. To have some guests. Because I enjoyed the lives. I enjoyed doing the lives.
You enjoyed the lives. Yes, you did.
We are good. Here was my impression of
the one live where I was like,
was like
it was the worst. That was so awful.
His connection speed. But yeah, we've been talking about having some guests on the show. And so next week, I believe if everything works out, we got a monster, just a mountain of a man to be our guest. How about that? How about that for a wink, wink, nod, nod?
Treasures. He's got treasures. Was that a good impression of it?
I knew that was. If I closed my eyes, I think that I was watching some of his content. Yeah, we were going to cover a few things on a few people's videos this week, and you want to do a little bit about that, or
no, I don't actually.
You don't.
I don't.
Jimmy's done with the show.
No, we can. Which one? Go ahead. You lead the way.
Okay. Well, we were just talking about, as part of the show, maybe watching a few videos, seeing, some content, what other people are doing out there, what's going on in the reselling world. Yeah. And I watched, so we'll just do these ones real quick. I watched this video up here from Adam Baldy Pal Picking, his Goodwill is Shady video.
Right.
Which was good. Basically, he was outsourcing his stuff. But the whole point of that video about Goodwill being shady is in his Goodwill on certain days, they have the colored tags.
And
they have
like $1 or something like that.
Yeah, the red tags were like $1.
That's what was crazy to me.
And he buys a lot of electronics on Dollar Day. You've seen over the past few weeks, he's been buying all these different electronics, and at
like,
$1,
why not take the risk at $1? Like, if it works, you're gonna make money on it. Yeah,
exactly. You can take that chance or part it out and stuff. But he had been having his eye on this printer. I think it was a print. No. It was a camcorder, like an old camcorder that was there. Right. They wanted a little bit too much money, and it was a red tag. And so, boom, he's like, cool. That day, he makes a beeline for the back of the store, which I was going to bring that up too, but we won't cover all that about how you source in your store. We'll go over that some other time. But his Goodwill, he had been watching that for a few weeks. It's on a red tag. He gets there on red tag day, $1, and Goodwill had put a blue sticker over top of it, and blue was like last week's $1.
So it was 4 weeks away or whatever.
It's going to be, that whole progression of how they do that. So hence Goodwill is shady. So check out Adam Baldy Powell picking. He had a lot of good stuff. And
anybody that has to shop at Goodwill retail stores regularly for their inventory, I do feel bad for them, because I don't ever have to go to Goodwill, because I have other thrift stores that are way better in the area, and between estate sales and yard sales and all that. And then I would rather go to the bins anyways. If I'm going to Goodwill, it's the bins. I used to go to the Goodwill by my house, and then 5 or 6 trips in a row of finding absolutely nothing but bare shelves, I just stopped going. So
we don't have bins close to me. So
some people still have to go there because they don't have a lot of other options.
And so it was a good video. Check it out. And it's always good to see the lovely Paige went out with him and endured a day of thrifting with Adam. So Goodwill is shady right there. And who did you watch this week, Jimmy?
So it just so happens that I watched a video from our upcoming guest. Spoiler alert, I watched this video from Mountain End Treasures, Troy, and it was one where I wanted to talk about, he said, thank you all, and he's talking about viewer sales, because his sales had been down, and a lot of his viewers came over to because he did a video about his sales being slow, and a lot of his viewers came over and helped him out, and it was really awesome. They bought a lot of little items from him for a decent amount, and he made pretty good and it was just awesome for him to get that support. But the main thing I want to talk about is, for a new seller, if you see that video, do you have to be a YouTube creator, content creator, to be a successful eBay seller? And I just want to say really quick that no, you do not. You don't even have to be a content creator at all, and you can have a ton of success on eBay.
I would be getting a 9-to-5 job if I were relying on viewer sales, because I did. I had one viewer sale this week, which was perfect. Right. So shout out to Jill for buying that Squishmallow from me out of my store.
Your viewer sale was to your girlfriend?
Yes.
That doesn't count.
I made her at least go in and let me put it on local pickup.
I'm going to be honest. That sounds rigged. Sounds rigged to me.
It does, but she wanted it and she wouldn't let me just give it. I was like, I'll just give that thing to you. I've got quarter in it, 50 cents. And she's like, no, I want to support, and it was 50% off. So it was only like $6 or $7, but still. That's so, weird. Hey, but
you made this weird. We weren't supposed to make it weird. You just made it weird.
Okay.
I do want to say that real
quick. Viewer sale.
Well, I would too. Because, does she watch your videos? She watches your lives.
She gets tired of listening to me every day ramble on.
I get tired of it. I do want to say though, I do want to give credit to the people that do have successful YouTube channels like Troy, Kevin, Dave, the What Sold videos, because it can help.
Yes,
it definitely helped Troy out that his viewers came over and boosted his sales. It helps it helps his algorithm too. So it doesn't hurt, and it can improve your sales a little bit. It depends on how big of a channel you have. So it can't hurt, but you don't have to have it, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
it
that's
is
what
not.
I took from that, and I thought it was interesting. And I thought for sure you would pick on me about the fact that I don't ever get viewer sales.
Well, you know, I don't like to bash you like to bash me, Jimmy.
True,
I'm a nice guy. You know, we're like the good cop, bad cop, or whatever, the Cagney and Lacey of. Wait, was there a good?
What's Cagney and Lacey?
That was a female cop
Young
show.
cop, old cop. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, and I think one of them ladies had big old meat hooks too. I'm not sure about that. Hey, you know what I saw? Okay, here's what helped me in
letting her
watching
near your magic wand, huh?
Watching watching Troy's video. What helped me, was that seeing that viewer sales and how that the community does support one another, and how that did help, you know, his algorithm, and his other sales started to pick up when those viewer sales started to come in. But I like to watch videos to see what people are selling and what sold. And because everything that everybody else sold, I have in my garage. And I'm like, cool, which lets me know also that I'm actually somewhat of a decent picker. And because these guys are getting them.
Seller. Yeah,
but one of the first items that he showed was a Marlboro jacket. Yep. You know, you used to, I don't even know if they do that anymore. You save up all the points, you send them in, and you get like some Marlboro stuff. So as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh, is that stuff selling? So in my death pile is this big old Marlboro. Oh.
You just list stuff as people sell it? Is that how you operate?
So this was still new with tags. Oh, I can't show it here. That's hard to show. But it's a big old Marlboro leather backpack. And these things go for like $85, 89, anywhere from say 70 to 90 bucks, $100. And it's just been sitting.
I'm telling you, this year when I go out there, I'm sourcing
in a bin.
Garage.
You should. Well, you can source my garage so I can have room for all the stuff in Jill's garage or in Jill's basement.
Deal.
But so that made me think, it reminded me, Marlboro stuff. Yeah, let me go get that. That thing's brand new, still in the package. And I was able to use, because there were some straight solds and there were some best offer solds. I did go to because
there were some points in there. I was able to get some more Marlboro stuff.
Yeah, I went. I started smoking so that I could get that, and I needed a few more points to put in there.
I thought that's where you were going with that.
So that's seeing somebody else's video made me jog my memory that, hey, I have this thing out here, and so now it's here in my room, ready to take some photos of tomorrow and list. And they seem to sell pretty regularly, the Marlboro stuff, or at least these backpacks. And, you know, hopefully by the show next week, that'll be my sale of the week, is my Marlboro leather backpack. And I also have a camel cigarettes one too, backpack. So apparently everybody was giving out bonus prizes. bonus stuff. So okay.
Yeah, okay. I got to pack, dude.
You got to pack orders.
I got to pack all the big difficult stuff to pack, because my son packed all the easy stuff and he left me all the big electronics and stuff.
That sucks. Yeah, I have stuff to pack.
Let's talk about that next week.
Okay. About your son and his taking the low road, taking the easy road.
Me all the stuff to pack.
So this has been Jimmy Old School Flips and Poop Shoe Ken. Thanks for joining us on a Reseller Clickbait Podcast.